And said here on the show, it must be very difficult to buy anything for the monarchy simply because they get really everything. And I don't mean that in a big-headed way of like they're just given things, but you know, they're not really looking for those major gifts. I don't know about you, but when I've ever dealt with celebrities, you know, it's very strange. I remember being invited to a celebrity birthday party once, and I took a small pot plant from Marks and Spencer's, and they knew that it was me that had spent so little because I didn't really know what to get them. But interestingly enough, they sent me a card thanking me for the delightful plant. As you can imagine, I wasn't invited back to that particular soiree the year after. That's a bigger problem, of course, when you're buying for the British monarchy, or indeed if you're Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. What do you give as a gift for someone that's been on the throne for 70 years and of course is just simply 96 years young? Well, here on the show today, we tell you exactly what gift Harry and Meghan gave them. Now, I always say in the show, it's very tricky because, you know, with royals at Christmas, they tend to get the fun gifts, you know, the flapping fish, the sort of fun toilet roll holder, that type of thing, you know. And Her Majesty the Queen is simply no different. She likes things like that, things that make her laugh. But of course it shocked us all recently, didn't it, with Prince Harry basically claiming he popped over to see Her Majesty the Queen to make sure she got the right people around her, being protected, that sort of stuff. But there was a bigger picture to it, of course, and we've told you that in a previous video. So do check that out if you want to know the real reasons as to why Harry and Meghan were summoned to Windsor Castle. So what did they gift Our Gracious Majesty the Queen? Well, it was interesting to know because, as I say, it's difficult. They didn't know what to do. Now, what we can tell you is that both Harry and Meghan gifted her a beautiful card, as ever, we have to say allegedly, and also apparently it was written with Meghan's trademark calligraphy. That's one of her talents, yes. We found that out during all that deep investigation into the forthcoming wedding way back in 2018. But the other gifts were simply this. Pictures of Harry and Meghan's children, which are Archie and of course Lily Diana, and then a group family picture too. Must have been very heartwarming and reassuring to look at pictures of course, a family that you barely know, even if you are Our Gracious Majesty the Queen. But it went one stage further than that. They recorded a message which was again presented to her on a USB stick. Now, if you're like me and you're not quite sure what a USB stick is, I mean, I truly do know, but if you don't know and it's a digital world, it's one of those little things that you pop in the side of your computer and it plays a short video. That basically means it can't be encrypted or in fact stolen because there's only one of those made. And on that particular USB stick, we are told, as ever, we have to say allegedly, was a wonderful message from Harry and Meghan wishing her, alongside their children, the most wonderful birthday wishes. Now, we're not sure if Her Majesty the Queen had the opportunity to view this USB stick simply because, as we know, it's a very, very short meeting, 15 minutes in total. And given what else they had to discuss, I'm told that it was simply presented and that Our Gracious Majesty would look at it in due course. Very nice of them to do that, don't you think? And as we now found out, that Prince Harry basically says that, of course, you know, America is his home. It must have been even more sort of shocking or heartwarming, depending on which mood Our Gracious Majesty was in, to find out that this could be the way that they communicate in the future. We were also told, weren't we, that Harry and Meghan said it wouldn't be long before they were bringing their children over to make sure that Her Majesty could hug them in, of course, her own personal space. After the interview on NBC with Hodder recently, it looks like Her Majesty could be waiting some time for those one-to-one hugs. But at least she has that USB stick with that wonderful, heartwarming personal message. Neil Sean in the very heart of London.